Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Arknights Prelude to Dawn episode number 8, and this is the final episode of this season. Okay, now it's been a while. I've reacted to episode number 7, and I'm back with the final episode, and this is the finale of this season. Another season is in, I think, production, which will probably come out soon. But yeah, in the previous episode, what we saw was Skull Shatterer and Misha. Both of them, like kind of like Skull Shatterer talking to Misha and telling her how to keep away from Rhodos Island, and like tells her a lot of things. Tries like kind of teaches her how to shoot a grenade launcher and stuff. And later on, Rhodos Island comes in, like a battle starts happening, and what happens in the end is that Skull Shatterer actually kind of like went off and like almost sacrificed himself trying to take out the doctor. However, obviously Amiya was there, and Amiya stopped him by shooting her arts and killing Skull Shatterer over there. Now Misa saw that, and she has now completely lost faith in Rhodos Island, and she's broken down completely. The fact, the previous episode, I really did not like how Skull Shatterer did the whole thing. The fact that he, what can I say? Like, he was talking about helping Misha and saving her, taking her away from here, but then he just literally takes his own life trying to take out the doctor. Is first of all contradictory. Second of all, quite selfish of himself, because obviously he brings out Misha from a safe situation, giving her hopes of taking her back, and then not even being alive by the end of it. That's quite selfish, in my opinion. Like he just brought her out of that situation, of a peaceful place, to like just brought her out and brought her to the battlefield. And by the end, he himself doesn't even survive. And now Misha is like forever scarred and probably will hate the Rhodos Island. So yeah, like that was not good. Like, he's dead. Obviously, nothing else. He cannot do nothing else, or like he cannot really like that's it for him. But now Misha will have to survive from here onwards. Probably not trusting anyone, and just all alone. So yeah, I was not really happy by the action Skull Shatterer took. But let's see how this final episode, where this goes, what Rhodos Island does, and all that stuff. So yeah, let us begin. This is episode number 8. So I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here, sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's begin. Alright, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. And obviously Amiya herself is pretty rattled because she never killed anyone before. I think so. Like, I don't think she ever took a life. This is the first time. Oh my god. Oh, the doctor is here. Hmm. All right. Oh, Kumar's here. So they're still struggling now. Mm. Oh boy. Yeah, and W is also there, so I'm guessing she was. Mm. No, at that point, I don't think there was any other. I don't know. Mm. What? What? What the hell? Why? How did she get here? She, wait, wait, what? Has she taken a hostage? Oh my god, it's Misha. Oh no. Oh my god! Oh, it's a flashbang, thank god. I thought it was a grenade or something. Oh boy. Oh my god, I don't know how she's going to react. Oh god, what? Oh, there you go. So they are blood related, I'm guessing. What are you saying? Like, didn't you see what was happening? Oh, she brought the. Oh god. Wants everyone to. Oh my god. Yeah, she's made up her mind. Oh, well, this is fantastic. Like, this is what I was saying. Like, just. Mm, yeah, true. And getting so rattled by one person is something that, as a leader, she cannot really do. Like, everyone looks at the leader for support. So if the leader is broken down. Mm, mm. Mm. Well, to go and bring Misha back. Or that, okay. Hmm. All right. What? What? Hmm. Damn. Okay. Wow. Oh, oh her. Great. This is not. Oh, damn. Hmm. Damn. Oh, someone's. Damn. Hmm. Yeah, true. Yeah, like unlike rollers, they actually are killing people. Like if needed. Like obviously they're not going out of their way to kill them, but yep. That's the thing. Like, oh my god. Wow. Yeah. Mm. Change. Oh no. Oh, she. Oh my god. So that's what she's doing. Great. So she. So she has taken the Skull Shatterer's identity. Yeah, it's Misha. Wow. This. What? Okay. Oh boy. And obviously, everyone. The reunion members are like getting a boost in morale now. So. Yep. Great. Blair. Oh. Yeah, so she's like, yeah, all of you retreat. Oh, yeah. Damn, the recoil. Yup. Oh, wait, how did she. She somehow sneaked behind her. Oh boy. The doctors. Oh boy. Oh, what the? Wait, who? Was that Jen? Who was that? Who was that? Uh, that's Jen, isn't it? Yeah. Yep, it's Jen. Ugh. Oh boy. I wonder what her whole W. I'm talking about W. What her deal is. Like, what does she want? Like, she seems like someone who has some other agenda or something. That's the feeling I get from her, but I don't know. Wow. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, that's where it ends. Well, okay, so yeah, the thing is, like, from moment, like, like, throughout this episode, not only this episode, but from the beginning of the anime, there's one thing, like, it's pretty obvious, you can understand that, is that Amiya is a type of a character who is, like, what can I say, like, her way of doing things is like, oh, we'll try our best to not kill people and, like, save them. And that's how she kind of, like, operates, which is one thing, like, what can I say, like, it's one thing if the world wasn't this type of a world, in Arknights, the world that we are in is cruel. So Amiya's, like, like, way of thinking and the way she operates is something that is extremely contradictory to how the world is. And okay, I'm going to talk about this after. Hmm. Yeah. And that's the thing. She didn't tell Amia to change herself or get adapted to this. She said that walk your own path. Mm, yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's true. She has to do the same thing. Mm. Oh boy. Okay, I think that was it. Departure. What the? Oh, is this the next part? Yep, the next part, which is in works. All right. So yeah, like I was saying, so what I was saying is like the thing that always kind of bothered me is how Amia's way of thinking and personality and her like saving everyone seemed so contradictory to how the world of Arknights is. Like Arknights is cruel and like like you expect the way Chen thinks does, you expect like like that's how you should operate. I feel like like Chen is like obviously she's not going out of her way to kill people or kill enemies, but she's not hesitating to do that. Unlike Amia, who's always like, oh, we'll go out of the out of our way to like like knock out people and like not kill them at all, even if they are like almost trying to kill us. We'll try to keep them like just knock them out. That's how Amia does things. And this seems so contradictory, and I was always thinking like this kind of makes her as a character who like is going to hesitate in crucial situations, like like in one of the previous episode where she helped that mother and child, that episode where she kind of like slowed everyone down to went out of her way to save someone. That part, like then in today's episode as well, where she was like went out of her way to try to bring back Misha again, even though she realized that she's full gone, she won't come back again, and hesitated to attack. These type of things, I was thinking like, like the way Amia kind of thinks and operates is something that is really doesn't mix well with this world. Like this isn't like a shonen anime where your mentality will be like, oh, I'm going to save everyone. Like even if that's an enemy, I'll knock the enemy out, give them a little pep talk, and they'll come around. Like this is not that. This is definitely not that type of a world. So Amiya, the way Amiya does things is kind of very risky, and her being the leader, everyone's like looking up to her, and whatever decision she takes, like they follow. So her hesitating in these type of crucial situations like staggers the people following her as well, which becomes a big disaster by the end of it. So I was kind of thinking in that way, but there's also something that I kind of realized by the end. And like when Chen said in the end that you walk your own path, I realized that that's not what this show is trying to tell us. Like Amia's personality is something that Rhodos Island looks up to as a shining beacon in the dark world. So she's like the light of hope. So her like up until now I was just thinking like she needs to change this type of personality to match well with this world so that she doesn't hesitate. She needs to be more like Chen. That's what I was thinking. But then in the ending part of this episode, when Chen told her that don't change, walk your own path, I realize that's not the point that the show is trying to make here. The point that they're trying to make here is that Amiya is the light in the darkness, and the Rhodos Island is following that light. If Amiya changes and becomes like Jen, that will defeat everything, that will defeat the whole purpose. She's someone that shouldn't change. Like, that's what I kind of concluded by the end of it. Like, even if she is naive, even if she is like her way of doing stuff is like, I'm not going to go out of my way to help someone. Sorry, I'm not going to go out of my way to no, wait, what am I saying? No, even if her way of thinking is that I'm going to go out of my way to help everyone and try not to kill someone if not necessary, like that thing, that she needs to keep that. Otherwise, this will defeat the whole purpose of everything that Rhodos Island stands for. Like Rhodos Island, everyone like related to Rhodos Island, like that is like Kelshi, who else? I guess you could include Liscam, Franca. They are kind of helping out Rhodos Island. Like, everyone who kind of follows Rhodos Island, they have definitely killed people, and they are definitely not like Amiya. So they know, they have been there. However, Amiya being the person who doesn't kill, she needs to keep that going, and she needs to keep being the leader, because she's the light who brightens up everything, and everyone follows her. If she changes, Rhodos Island will change. And once Rhodos Island changes, it'll defeat the whole purpose. Then Rhodos Island will become just another group like the Reunion. So that's not what we want. We want Rhodos Island to stay the way they are. Like Rhodos Island is the the hope in this cruel world, and that hope is the main light, or the main beacon of that hope is Amiya. And yeah, so I've changed my mind completely. I was kind of, even in this episode while everything was happening, I was thinking like, oh no, Amiya needs to change. This isn't going to go well. If she keeps having this way, this type of personality, not only she's going to in the messy situation she's going to hesitate, but the whole team will go down. Like, I was kind of thinking of all of that, and I was also thinking like, oh, maybe Amiya couldn't be the leader if this is how she kind of reacts in these type of situations. Like someone else who is more like Chen needs to take the leadership. I was thinking of all of that, but then by the end, when Chen said that you walk your own path, that's when it struck me. I was like, okay, no, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the way I'm looking at it is wrong. Like, they need Amiya to stay like this, because she is the light in the darkness. And if that light goes out, everyone, they'll also get lost. So clinging, everyone's clinging to that light, and so that is why everyone's trying to keep Amiya the way she is. Keeping her her ideals, the way she looks at everything, trying to preserve it, because she is the hope for everyone, and she is the light in this messed up world. So that's just how I kind of thought by the end of it. I kind of changed my mind by the end, because yeah, I seeing everything, how she was hesitating and everything, I was like, oh, isn't going to do. But then after Chen said that, I was like, nah, this is going to do. This is how she needs to stay, because everyone is following her because of that light. And the ideal, Amiya's the what can I say, Amiya's ideal, the personification of ideals, a good a good ideal, oh, the world will be okay, everything will we will get our cure, there won't be any wars anymore, everyone will be at peace. These ideals, these unrealistic ideals, that's Amiya. And in this world, in this messed up world, Rhodos Island needs that person, and Rose Island needs to keep that person and keep her ideals alive so that they can also follow that ideal. And if they follow the ideal, maybe someday that ideal will become reality. And to keep that going, they need to keep Amiya the way that she is. Amiya shouldn't change in this world. Once Amiya changes, Rhodes Island will lose its way, or like the way it's going towards. Rhodes Island will lose it, and it'll just become another organization. Anyways, this is just how I think. Anyways, yeah, I might be wrong. Maybe like it's just the beginning, so maybe later on we'll get to see something more. But for now, at least, this is how I interpret the thing. I'm pretty sure everyone who's played the game will probably get to, like will understand Amiya's character a lot more better, because the game is, I think, a lot ahead than the anime, and I'm sure they have way more of a deeper understanding in Amiya, about Amiya and Rhodos Island. So, like I said, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this isn't how it is, or maybe things will change in the future. But at least for now, this is what I think. So, alright, this episode we kind of begin with Amiya, kind of like scared and kind of like shaking, because obviously she killed Skull Shatter, and the doctor comes in, tries to kind of just like kind of console her, and yeah, Amiya says that like I failed you guys, like I always say, saving everyone and everything, but I just lost control. Like maybe there was another way to do this, but I didn't look at that. I tried to find that way. I attacked him and killed him. And she also says that I'm going to do this again if your life is in danger, doctor. I don't want to lose anyone anymore. So if taking a life is something that I need to do to save you, I'll do it again. But still, she's like suffering for what she did, and thinking maybe she had another way to do this. But doctor says that, like, doctor kind of cheers her up and says that you're the one who we are following. So like, let's go. Like everything will be fine. And then they go and see, like, W has taken like a hostage, and W like provides them with the walkie-talkie, or like that thing, that communicated thing. And yeah, on the other side, Misha's talking to Amiya, and we can see Amiya's like, like don't worry, Misha, like obviously like this happened, but we're going to go save you. But then Misha said that no, like everything has changed. Like, now here's the thing. You can see that one thing I can kind of like see here is that I was thinking maybe Misha's going to blame Ami or something, but that's one thing that she didn't do. Like throughout this whole episode, there wasn't like a single section when Misha blamed Amiya, like, oh, you're the one who killed him, or like, you're the one who fought, you lied to me. Like none of those things she said, because I'm pretty sure she herself realized that what Amiya did was something that she had to do at that moment, and she just blamed the world and how it is and how the circumstances is, and how this world will never let, like reunion, and like everyone who's struggling and fighting against the government and all of that, how they are not, how the world is cruel, and how they'll never get justice, those type of things she said. I didn't see her even once blame Amiya personally, which I thought she was going to do. She never did that, which kind of shows that she herself knows that there wasn't really anything else that Amiya could do. But at the same time, she's also disappointed, and like the fact that her being an infected, this happened. Yeah, but she's disappointed, but this doesn't mean that she's blaming her. So because she never blamed her, at least once. Either way, she kind of talks about all of this, and then in the end, she says that he was my little brother. Talks about what happened in their childhood and all that stuff, and yeah, and you can see how her whole way of looking at the world which kind of changed after meeting Amiya. She became more idealistic, started looking at Amiya's ideals as if maybe some days those are going to come true. But after her brother's death, you can see that completely crumbled down. She changed her way of looking at the world, and instead of that idealistic way, that bright future, looking at that bright future, she started becoming more, I guess you could say, like like the way, like the more realistic she kind of started becoming, like I said, Amiya is looking at the bright future. She's like the personification of ideals, like good, like the bright future. That's what she is. And people who are following her, they follow her because they also want that type of a world in the future, and they want to believe in that. Misha was also one of them. However, now that this happened, Misha, she broke off from that, and she started becoming more like Skull Shatterer, and started adopting the Reunion's way of looking at the world. Like, oh, we gotta kill, otherwise no one will listen to us, that type of thing. So that's all that happened. And I still blame Skull Shatterer for this, like, I'm sorry, obviously he's dead. Nothing you can do about it, but that's the thing that I had like the most what can I say? Like I just hated how he just did that, like he brought Misha out and then just went and died. And now look at what happened. Like, just complete, like, I don't know. Like, is this what he wanted? Is this the end that he wanted? Like, both him and his sister like just die, because that's what happened. His actions, maximum, like, the maximum, the result that came out, most of the thing, it was the result of his actions. Like, like 80% of the things he did, the result of that was this. And I'm just like, oh my god, like, it's just, yeah. But nothing I can say, like nothing you can say now, like you cannot change the future, change the past. So yeah. Anyways, Amir tries to convince her, like, she's like, don't be hasty, but she's like, no, I'm going to bring back Skull Shatterer, and cuts off the connection. And Amir's like broken down, and you can see Chen comes here, and Chen is like, don't act like this, like, Misha has chosen to side with the Union. Do you think you can save her? And Chen is like, start acting more like a leader. And like we, and then Chen says like, we have to go and rescue Misha, that's our main mission. Rose Island also wants that, so let's go and do that. So they come out, everyone is like, yeah, we're going to follow you, Amiya. So there you go. Now later on we see Misha kind of like, talking to W, and um, she's like, why are you bothering me? Like, I told you to leave me alone with my brother here. And W tries to convince her to bring her back and evacuate from here, but she's like, nope, I'm not leaving anywhere. This is where I will be, and this is where I'll stay up until the end. And she also says like, everyone who gave their life and everything, like, I'm not going to be leaving them and just running away. She also says like, why does everyone think I'm important? Like, like, she doesn't like that, and obviously she's just like sick of the fact that everyone's dying for her sake. And like W also brings that up, like W is like, oh, so you were just, like, everyone just died for you, and like, and this is what you're doing. Like, like, you're not, like, like, everyone's death is in vain, is going to be in vain now then. But Misha doesn't listen. Misha's like, I'm like, I'm sick and tired of the fact that you guys are treating me like some kind of an important, like, being, or like a VIP or something. I don't like that. And no, I will stay here. That's my final decision. And she says like, I'm going to bring back Skull Shatterer, and like, takes Skull Shatterer, hugs him, obviously. Yeah. Now after that, Ami and everyone starts like, going in, like, closing in to the, to the base, to the Union base. And everything was looking quite good. Everyone was fighting properly, like they were kind of pushing in. Hoshiguma, Franca, Texas, like, like Blitzcom, XC, XC, XUCI, and everyone else was just going in. And in the end, we get to see the Skull Shatterer again. Obviously, that's Misha. Like everyone kind of guessed that. And but obviously the reunion members, they didn't realize what's going on. They were like, "Oh, Skull Shatterer is back," but that was Misha, obviously underneath the gas mask. So like the morals gets boosted. All the reunion members, they start kind of fighting again properly. But then there's this one guy who comes in and he's like, "Oh, I'm glad Skull Shatterer, you're okay. You just reunited with Misha. Let's go back together." But Misha doesn't really say anything, just gives him the flare and threatens him to use it and evacuate. And she herself goes in. Now obviously the other reunion members who are just fighting, obviously she cannot really tell them to evacuate because they're literally in the middle of a fight. So the people at least who were like with her, she ordered them to evacuate so that at least a few of them will get saved. And Misha goes in and starts shooting those grenade launchers. So there you go. Now by the end, you can see Amiya somehow is able to come sneak behind Misha, and she calls her. She's like, "Oh, you're Misha, aren't you? You're not Skull Shatterer." And Amiya again tries to kind of convince her, and she's like, "I apologize for what I did, but our intentions are what I said. We want a world that is like not like this, and we're trying our best. So come with us." But Misha is obviously like, she's like, "What is the point?" And you can see that she's like given up. Like she's like, "Yeah, like my brother's dead. There's no other reason for me to stay alive. I'll also die over here." And she's just given up. Like it's just like nothing you can do about it here. She has decided that this will be the end of her. This place will be the final place for her. Either she'll die fighting or she'll destroy everyone. So that was her whole thing. Now she also kind of talks about how she kind of, I guess you could say, she said like, "I abandoned my brother when my brother was taken away. I was just just cowering and I was hidden, and they took my brother away." She's apologetic for that. She regrets that, and she also says that maybe this is how just fate wrote everything for us. Like maybe there weren't any other future for us. And in the end, Amiya tries to attack her, and Misha was like holding a grenade launcher towards her, but Amiya wasn't able to shoot her, and Chen comes in and attacks and kills Misha then and there. And Chen says like, "I told you before, do not hesitate." And you can see that Amiya's like completely broken down, takes the mask from her, and from Misha's face, and you can see that W is just looking at everything. Now here I kind of got the feeling that W, like I've always felt that the W has some other agenda or something. Like she's thinking of something else. Like obviously Tallulah and who else, like Mephisto, Crown Slayer, they have their own thing. Like Tallulah obviously is like the reunion's leader, and Crown Slayer, she is kind of like the right hand person of Tallulah, I guess. Mephisto is full crazy. Like you cannot really, he's just full on crazy. But W, I always kind of felt that she has some other agenda or something. She's something else she's trying to do, or maybe she doesn't really share the same sentiment as the reunion. She's just sticking with them just because their goals align or something. That's how I look at her. I might be wrong, but that's always the vibe that she gives off. And especially in this part, it was kind of I felt that even more when they showed W like just looking at everything. And yeah, either way, after that, in the end, here this part, like I said, this part is kind of interesting. This is the part where I completely changed my mind about Amiya. Up until this time, I was thinking Amiya needs to change. She needs to change this way of her personality to be more like a leader. But here, Chen says a few things which kind of changes my mind. Chen says, "Amiya, are you taking that as a keepsake, the gas mask? So be it. Just know that your room will one day be filled with masks like this one day. This mourning the dead isn't going to change the world. When we have to, the LGD and I will draw our swords without hesitation. But that's not the Rhodes Island's way, is it? This part, welcoming the infected with open arm and saving them. That's not what something we can do. Literary leader of the Rhodes Island, you are nobody else but yourself. You have to walk the path you have chosen. Like this part, the path that belongs only to you. So yeah, this part completely makes me change my mind. I'm like, you know what? Jen is right. Like she says that she tells Amiya that, oh, you have to get used to this. Like losing people, this will be a part of your life. But getting used to it doesn't mean become like us. You be yourself and go on your own way. Like this is the thing. Like I was kind of equating like getting used to the death and everything with Amiya changing. But it's not exclusive, mutually exclusive. It's not. What Chen tells her is that, yeah, get used to this. You'll see more deaths in the future, but don't change. You walk your own path. We have our own way of doing things. Like we are the lungmen. You, Rhodes Island, that's not who you are you? You're not us. You are you. You guys, what your goal is that welcoming the infected with open arms. Stay on that path and go forward. And like I said, I changed my mind here. Like what I was thinking up until this point is that, Amiya needs to become more like Chen. But when Chen literally herself says that you be you, I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's true. Because the lungman is the lungman. Like they have their own duties and they have their own thing. While Reunion's duty here, which has been established, is that changing the messed up world and kind of going closer to our idealistic world. That's what Rhodes Island is. And Amiya is the beacon of hope for that. So if Amiya changes, everything will get destroyed. Rhodes Island will not be Rhodes Island anymore. So what Chen says here, I kind of agreed to it by the end of it. And I'm like, you know what? Yes, that's how it should be. She needs to get used to all of these death and everything. But that doesn't mean she needs to change her ideals. She needs to keep her ideals intact and keep following it, even after withstanding this cruel world and whatever that this cruel world throws at her. She needs to withstand that and not change. That's what is needed to be done, and that's what Chen told her by the end, and I agree to it. Yeah, so after that, in the end, doctor also kind of says something like that in the end, where he said when Misha no, not Misha, sorry, Amiya went and I think there's a little grave that she made for Misha. Yeah, goes there, and when Amiya is there crying, and she was kind of broken down. She was kind of losing her hope, and she was like, oh, no one's going to believe me now. I'm saying how I'm going to change the world, but this is what I've done. But then doctor says that when I woke up, I saw your light in the darkness, and I found the path that I must walk, that is following her. It wasn't for anyone else to decide whether I should follow the path you showed me. I chose for myself to walk this path. Yeah. You're always ahead of the others, lighting the way for the rest of us. I will keep walking my path in the same direction as you. Yeah. Yeah, and so the doctor is like, all you need to do is keep leading us. Keep being that beacon of hope. And it is our decision whether to follow you or not. You stay true to your decision. You stay true to your path. We will stay true to our path. And and that is true. Nobody here, everyone who's following Amiya and the Rhodes Island, I doubt nobody is doing this because they were told to. They're doing this because they want to. That is the path that they have chosen. Doctor is following Amiya because that is a path that he has chosen. He has chosen to follow the same path as Amiya. That in itself is a decision, you know. Like Amiya is not forcing him to follow her. You know, he's decided to follow her himself. So what she needs to do is to be true to herself, because her being true to herself was the thing that motivated everyone to follow her. So she needs to be true to herself and keep going like this. Everyone will automatically follow her. You know, she's not forcing anyone. She being true to herself is going to make everyone else follow her, and maybe bring in more allies as well. And her being the beacon in this dark, like, you know, like in this messed up world, is something that everyone will follow. And because they also get the hope, you know, that light. You know, Amiya illuminates the surrounding beside her, and everyone else tries to get a little bit of that light. That's why they follow Amiya. They also want to see a bright future. You know, everyone wants that. You know, like, be it the Lungmen, even the reunion, I'm sure they want to see a bright future. Just the way that they're doing this is completely wrong. So Amiya being that light, being, like, you know, the person who looks at that idealistic world and has made that her goal, is a perfect person to lead Rhodos Island. And yeah, she shouldn't change. She should be true to herself, and that's all that is needed. Everyone else will automatically follow her as long as she remains true to herself. So yeah, that is it. That was how it ended. You know, like, and they kind of showed that the next part is in progress and that it's been made. So yeah, so there you go. That was the final episode of Arknights Prelude to Dawn. And that really, like, you know, I have to say, when I played the game, and there's a lot of things that I never understood, but the anime really kind of properly provided the explanation, and I understand the story way better than when I played the game. And like, you know, there's so many things that I was so confused while playing the game, but here the anime, like, properly explained everything to us. So I have a better understanding of the story now, so much better. But yeah, anyways, that was it. Thank you for watching, guys. This was my reaction to episode number 10, episode number 8 of Arknights Prelude to Dawn. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, and I'll check them out. So yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you guys with the other animes that I'm reacting to in the next video. So yeah, see you guys later. So until then, goodbye and have a nice day.